Let's learn how to use Canva AI's code feature to create interactivities for your students. You're going to log into Canva, you are going to make sure you are on the home button, and then you are going to click this Canva AI button. That is where the magic happens. Now, if you want to create interactive materials, you need to make sure to also click this code button. Don't panic. You do not need to know how to code. We are going to be vibe coding, which means that we give it a prompt and the AI uses that prompt to write the code for us. So you're going to type your prompt into the box and you're going to hit send. So what I'm doing here is I want to create an interactive visual activity where students are able to visualize ratios and how to find equivalent ratios. So that's what my prompt basically said, and you can see here it's already running the code for me. I am not touching anything. My hands are off my keyboard. I can code a little bit, but there's no way that I could ever code this fast. This would have probably taken me a week to write, and it's done in under 10 seconds. So let it run, let it do its thing. While it's running its code, I'll read you my prompt just so you get an idea of what your prompt may sound like. Create an activity where middle school students adjust sliders or number boxes to build equivalent ratios and visually compare them with bar models. It is done running its code. That took about a minute or two. I would say on average it takes about 2 or 3 minutes, depending upon how complex your prompt is. And now I have my first prototype of my equivalent ratios explorer. This prototype is fully interactive, so it gives me a ratio, and then I can slide the sliders to try to find what I think is an equivalent ratio. You can see it even added a little confetti there when I got the right option. Now, at this point, this is pretty good. It tells me, oh, it even visualizes down here. So if as I move the slider, it shows me if my ratio is equivalent or not. I like that. I can come down here and it gives me the equivalent ratios that I've already found. This is pretty good. The only thing I say is I notice that when I'm sliding these sliders, it tells me what the correct answer is. I don't necessarily totally dislike that, but I could see where students would just start sliding the sliders until they see the green and not really intake the information. So what I can do is I can iterate on this design as many times as I want by giving it another prompt. So I'm going to come over here and I asked it to add a button for users to click once they feel that they have the correct equivalent. I already ran this iteration, but I would just put this in here, I'd hit submit, and then what it does is it creates different versions. You can always go back to the previous versions, but now look, I've got another version of this with my iteration where now if I slide the slider, and let's say I think that's the equivalent, I have to click check my answer, and then it will tell me if I'm right or wrong. I like that little addition. Everything else is the same. It was just that one little change that I made. So once you're done iterating, you can iterate as many times as you want. The better you get at prompting and the more you practice this, the more you're going to be able to get your activities done in 1 to maybe 3 or 4 iterations, but I've had up to 10, 12, 15 iterations before to get it exactly how I want it. Once you've got it to that point, you are gonna click publish because what we're doing is we're basically creating a website. Like you are vibe coding a website right now. Isn't that cool? You're creating your own little personal website for your students. So you're going to click that publish button. Now, the very first time you click publish on anything in Canva, it will make you create a site address. Because you're creating a website, you need to have a personal domain. So it'll ask you to give it a name. I suggest using whatever your students call you. So I use Mrs. Hawk here. So my domain is now mrshawk.my.canva.site. And then whatever the activity is, it'll do slash the activity. So you'll have to do that just the first time. After that, it automatically puts it in for you. And then you're going to click the publish button. Once you click publish, it will prepare your website. So here I have my link. I can click copy. And then now I have that URL copied to my clipboard. So I could go paste that in my learning management system for my students. I'm going to go in an incognito window just so you can see what it looks like when I paste that URL. There's no login required. We're just going to a live, active, public website. It's fully interactive, just like we had in our prototype that we iterated on. And students can come in here, they can mess with it however they want, they can make new ratios and do it over and over. So that is all there is to creating interactive activities using the Canva AI code feature. Super fun. What a world we live in that you're able to create interactive manipulatives and bring learning to life for your students in a matter of minutes.